Hello everybody, my name is Joy. Welcome to the fourth chapter of the Phasmophobia Ghost Compendium dedicated to the Banshee. For creating this video, I used two separate footage since the Banshee will behave differently around multiple investigators. The main footage was recorded on a solo job at Edgefield Street House, while to demonstrate the Banshee's hunt, I used a recording of a co-op job on Tanglewood Street House.
And remember to check the whiteboard for help.
While searching the house, the ghost gave me a clue of its whereabouts pretty early as I heard a footstep upstairs, followed by a knock on a window, leading me to the girl teen's bedroom. I had to wait for a few seconds for another footstep that confirmed I am at the right place. While looking around a bit more, I witnessed a painting falling off the wall of the hallway that implied the possibility of the ghost roaming the hallway. It's useful to know, however, that ghosts tend to interact with objects on or right beside the outer walls of the ghost room, creating interactions outside of the ghost room as well. I set up a camera and started looking for fingerprints since early on I heard a knock on the window, but the first evidence I encountered instead was freezing temperatures. I didn't have to wait too long for the fingerprints either. Checking the bathroom window also yielded a fingerprint that was probably the outcome of the first knock I heard from downstairs. This combination of the first two evidence is very typical for Banshee games, leaving you with either a Wraith or a Banshee. The first uses Spirit Box, that can be pretty tricky sometimes, while the other characterized by EMF5, another clue that sometimes isn't easy to acquire. I tried the spirit box, but got no answer, and the next time I entered the ghost room I encountered my first ghost event, shortly followed by an interaction, adding up to an EMF5 on my reader. This confirmed I was dealing with a Banshee, so it was time for me to take care of my objectives and to demonstrate the weakness of this type of ghost. At around 20% sanity, I placed the crucifix by the doorstep of the room. Note that this is a horrible placement for the crucifix, since normally it would barely cover half of the possible spawn area. Contrary to the popular belief, Banshees usually don't behave less active around placed crucifixes, as you can see here, but are affected by it in a 5-meter radius.
Can you give me a sign?
Meaning that, despite the placement, this crucifix prevented her from spawning entirely. You could argue that any other type of ghost may have used up the crucifix the same way. However, upon repeating the process, it was safe to say that the ghost trying to spawn 4 times in a row at the same place right next to this crucifix is highly unlikely. I did not give a chance for my Banshee to hunt in this game, but on this upcoming footage that I recorded earlier, I can demonstrate how they behave when there are at least 2 investigators on the job. The Banshee will choose one player to be their prey consistently until they manage to kill them, and as long as this player is in the house during the hunt, the ghost will ignore anyone else to the extent where you can walk through the ghost without getting killed. This also provides an opportunity to take the ghost picture should you be struggling to get a ghost event. When the target is not in the building, however, the Banshee will target anybody just like any other ghost would. In addition to this behavior, the Banshee also has a rarely used power. It sometimes marks the current location of its target, navigates to it, and upon reaching the destination waits for a short period of time. If during this wait they have line of sight on the target, they can initiate a hunt from there that can technically result in them hunting well above 60% sanity very early in the game, or starting their hunt away from the ghost room. Back to my original job on Asheville Street House, after using my crucifixes I restored my sanity, and in hope to find a bone I also walked around a bit. While in the nursery I witnessed the Banshee's power in action, as she wandered towards my location in the nursery, touching the door as she passed by me. I didn't stick around, so she lost line of sight and no hunt was initiated. Trying to get a proper ghost event and a photo of the ghost, I smudged the room. That sadly only resulted in a few more interactions. Note that an EMF 5 ghost can still give you regular EMF 2 and EMF 3 readings upon touching the doors or interacting with objects. Witnessing these interactions gave me at least a chance to fill my photo slots up.
Can you do something?
When taking interaction pictures, you need
Can
to
you
be
show
close to the
yourself?
site of the interaction and photograph the original location of the object that was moved instead of its new position. Being patient eventually rewarded me with my favorite ghost event, an uninterrupted humming apparition. Once I returned to the truck and made sure I had my objectives complete, I finished filling out my journal and headed back to HQ. And that was my investigation on a Banshee, a ghost characterized by freezing temperatures, fingerprints, and EMF 5, a ghost that chooses its target at the beginning of the game and chases them down, disregarding other players in their way, being hindered by the crucifix more than other types of ghosts, since it will prevent their hunt from 5-meter range instead of 3 meters, serving as a hint on no evidence runs. This concludes the 4th chapter of the Phasmophobia Ghost Compendium. Thank you all for watching, and see you on the field.